I want to preface any other statements that I make today saying that there is so much luck in fantasy football. I mean, look at your last 2 or 3 winners in our fantasy league. Number one, it's luck because I haven't won it.
Really good. In fact, if you go back and look at the video from last year, I predicted it. I predicted we'd be the champions, and we were. Because I said last year, I mean it still, the mark of a good owner is he hires the right people under him and he lets them do their job. And I hired a great coach, a great GM, let them do their job, let us do the Super Bowl. Probably going to do it again this year. And I'm wearing this because All-Stars go to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl. So that's why I'm wearing this.
Oh, I did great. You know, went in with a little bit different strategy, able to count my dollars, and I got a lot of the players that I wanted, so I'm real happy with the Raiders picks for this year.
Oh man, I think I did well, but obviously time will tell on how well I really did.
They'll show here in a little bit what team had the best draft, and last year it was us, and we won the Super Bowl. I'm sure this year it'll show the Cowboys were the best draft as well.
It was a great draft. Like you noted earlier, it was a little different than last year. I spent my money early, and I figure might as well spend it early and get quality players. That's what I feel like I did.
I think I'm doing pretty well at this point. The Colts have totally blown it. They are already out of the league. I don't see them winning one game, not one game.
Well, it was an interesting draft. I think people spent a lot of money up front, which I was not prepared for based on last year. So I kind of missed out on a few players I would have liked to have gotten. However, that did allow me to do better in the middle of the draft. Plus, I shifted philosophies and went heavier at wide receiver. Got a couple high-end guys there in A.J. Green and Odell Beckham. Got a good tight end in Travis Kelce, which at a pretty good price compared to what everybody else paid. And then at the mid to the end of the draft, I was able to get a lot of good depth for cheap.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
I did. Last year I went strong with three top wide receivers. This year I spread it out a little bit more. So I instead of going 3 wide receivers, 1 quarterback, I went strong on running back, strong on tight end, strong on wide receiver, and I think strong on quarterback with Sam Bradford. So decided to spread it out a little bit with the different positions.
I had no idea what I was doing again this year. I felt like I wanted Andrew Luck. I wanted a good quality quarterback, and after I spent a lot of money on him, I felt like I was in Vegas. Why not just give it all away? So that's what I did. And with those 3 guys, I need them, my top 3 players, to do well, and my team will do well then.
Well, being the season champion last year and winning 10 straight games in a row, and putting out some information from the chair last year is a pretty big title that I have to maintain, losing the Super Bowl last year due to injuries. So what was a little different strategy this year with a deep strategy. Was one of the last guys to purchase a player tonight, but the first guy done, and also had some money left over. So we're looking strong, looking deep, and I would hate to be playing against me this year because we're coming at you full strength.
I looked for a little bit more of the players that are established versus some of the up-and-comers. I think some of the up-and-comers that really haven't done anything sometimes get overbid, so I tried to stay away from those guys this year. But I'll say the one thing that I'm really still concerned with was the controversy of our first-year champion winning it all. He's an auctioneer. In our first year as an auction league, he wins it. I mean, I think that's bigger than Deflategate. I'm really disappointed the commissioner hasn't looked into that and come up with something to really penalize them for this year.
Looks like it's going to be Colts on top again this year, so I'll be right there. That's what America wants. I give America what they want.
Team to watch out for this year would be the Dallas Cowboys, which is my team. Always need to watch out for the Cowboys. other than us, I'm trying to think who had a good draft out there. You know what? Ray Placencia, the Cardinals, they had a good draft this year. They did it a little different. Last year, they held all their money to the end. This year, they spent big in the beginning, and I think he's got a good team. I think his strategy he used this year may come back to be a good thing for him.
I think Ray's done a good job this year. He spent a lot of money early, but I think with that strategy, it's going to pay off for him this year. I think he's done a good job with that. Typically, Ray is a perennial loser, but this year, I think he's going to bounce back.
Yeah, the Raiders, just looking at the report card, they came out as they're predicted to have the best team. I didn't really see that in the draft. I wasn't really paying a whole lot of attention to their players, so that was kind of surprising. The Cardinals, they came out strong. They got 3 in the top 25. And then they had to lay low because they spent so much money. So we'll see where the Raiders and the Cardinals end up at the end of the year.
And, you're going to have the same people at the bottom, the Redskins, the Raiders, probably the Vikings this year too.
It's about like normal. I don't think much of any of these guys. We got one guy adopting kids, another guy, trying to appraise houses. They're not concentrating on fantasy football the way I feel my organization does. So I feel good. I don't feel like I have too many quality opponents. Should be a pretty easy year.
In terms of offense, I think you're going to see a lot of passing. I think passing is going to be a bigger key than running this year. You're going to have to throw the ball to win.
Again, I think it's become a passing league. I think that trend continues. The shared running back situation has happened a lot more, which is why a lot of those guys that aren't in a timeshare go for big money now, 1/4 your budget.
Probably the biggest thing is they're going to more receivers, especially in our league, are going to be worth more points. So I didn't draft wide receivers, so maybe that's a mistake on my part, but it's going to be pretty much the NFL as normal, I think.
I think they're going to just open it up more with wide receivers. I went heavy on wide receivers this year, a little bit fewer backs. It may end up impacting me if they get hurt, but we have some money in the league for picking up players, and I probably am going to look to spend some money, big money if I need to, if somebody goes down and a running back steps up.
Potentially, I think if you are comfortable, you are willing. I mean, we went right off the gate. First couple players, Adrian Peterson, I think, was the second or third player and went almost for $50 right off the bat, so people were ready to bid strong. So potentially, yeah. I think guys nominated the guys they wanted early and drafted them, paid for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think next year will be better in terms of kind of getting used to not just the auction draft, going into it for the second year, but then also to kind of see what the tendencies are of the other teams in our league and kind of see where they're at in terms of drafting, overbidding, maybe too high, or underbidding. So I feel like the next year, the third year, will kind of be a more of a stable, steady line in terms of getting a read on other teams.
All right, good luck to all you guys, bunch of losers.